Since gunpowder was invented in China centuries ago, humans have sent cylinders soaring into the skies with the help of controlled explosions. These crafts and their engines, called rockets, have taken on many roles as fireworks, signal flares, and weapons of war. But since the 1950s, when life on Earth, as well as extraterrestrial life, became a matter of curiosity, rockets have been used to send robots, animals, and people into orbit around Earth, and even beyond. Humanity has been active in space, and various space missions have been carried out so far to study and investigate the secrets of the universe since. Space exploration comes at a cost. Some of the founding missions and programs are the most expensive in history, not to mention the expenses on building each rocket. So buckle up as we discover the most expensive rockets of all time. Before we get lost in space, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button first and ring the notification bell. That way you're always in the loop. Rockets. Rockets are commonly applied to any of various vehicles, including firework skyrockets, guided missiles, and launch vehicles used in space, driven by any propulsion device. Rockets take advantage of momentum, or how much power a moving object has. If no outside forces act on a group of objects, the group's combined momentum must stay constant over time. Rockets work by expelling hot exhaust that acts in the same way as the basketball. The exhaust gas molecules don't weigh much individually, but they exit the rocket's nozzles very fast, giving them a lot of momentum. As a result, the rocket moves in the opposite direction of the exhaust with the same total. Today, rockets routinely take spacecraft to the limited areas of our solar system. Closer to Earth, rockets carry supplies up to the International Space Station, can return to Earth, land on their own, and be used again. Rockets were also used to take measurements of radiation in the upper atmosphere after nuclear tests. The pricey rockets. Most companies rarely publicize the cost to build their rockets. What is most commonly available is the price charged to use them to launch payloads. The choice of rockets depends mostly on the payload mass and the orbit it is to be put into, hence the launch price. The launch price includes a cost to use the launch site, some recovery of development costs, and some profit, of course. Atlas V-551. Atlas V-551 is an expendable launch system and the fifth major version of the Atlas rocket family. It was originally designed by Lockheed Martin, now being operated by United Launch Alliance, ULA, in United States, a joint venture between Lockheed Martin and Boeing. Atlas V is also a major NASA launch vehicle. Each Atlas V rocket consists of two main stages. Its first stage is powered by a Russian RD-180 engine, manufactured by Energomash and burning kerosene and liquid oxygen. The Centaur upper stage is powered by one or two American RL-10 engines, manufactured by Aerojet, Rocketdyne, and burning liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. The Star-48 upper stage was used on the New Horizons mission as a third stage. AJ-60A strap-on solid rocket boosters, SRBs, are used in some configurations. In November 2020, they were replaced by the GEM-63 SRBs. The standard payload fairing are 4.2 or 5.4 meters, 14 or 18 feet in diameter, with various lengths. The rocket had 86 launches with only one failure, and 76 consecutive successful launches since October 2007. In its 85 launches as of October 2020, starting with its first launch in August 2002, Atlas V has achieved a 100% mission success rate and a 97.65% vehicle success rate. As of 2016, the cost per launch of an Atlas V rocket is around $110 to $153 million. Ariane 5. Ariane 5 is a European heavy-lift space launch vehicle developed and operated by Arianespace for the European Space Agency, ESA. It is launched from the Central Spatial Guyanas in French Guiana. It has been used to deliver payloads into Geostationary Transfer Orbit, GTO, or Low Earth Orbit, LEO. The rocket had a streak of 82 consecutive successful launches between April 9, 2003 and December 12, 2017. As of November 2014, the Ariane 5 commercial launch price, which can transport up to 2 satellites to space, one in the upper and one in the lower positions, is around €150 million, or USD, as of January 2015. Delta IV Heavy. The Delta IV line of rockets was developed by McDonnell Douglas, which later became United Launch Alliance in the United States. The Delta IV Heavy is the most powerful member of the line, which also includes the smaller Delta IV Medium. It can lift 28,370 kilograms, or 62,550 pounds, to low Earth orbit and 13,810 kilograms, or 30,450 pounds, to geostationary transfer orbit (GTO). It is an all-liquid fueled launch vehicle consisting of an upper stage, one main booster, and two strap-on boosters. The first launch of the Delta IV Heavy in 2004 carried a boilerplate payload and was a partial failure. In December 2014, the Delta IV Heavy was used to launch an uncrewed test flight on the Orion spacecraft, designated Exploration Flight Test (EFT-1). Delta IV Heavy goes for about $350 million per launch, after the retirement of both Delta IV Medium and Delta II. Saturn V, an American human-rated super heavy lift launch vehicle used by NASA between 1967 and 1973. It consisted of 3 stages, each fueled by liquid propellants. It was developed to support the Apollo program for human exploration of the Moon and was later used to launch Skylab, the first American space station. As the largest production model of the Saturn family of rockets, the Saturn V was designed under the direction of Wernher von Braun at the Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama, with Boeing, North America Aviation, Douglas Aircraft Company, and IBM as the lead contractors. Saturn V was launched 13 times from Kennedy Space Center, with no loss of crew or payload. As of 2021, the Saturn V remains the tallest, heaviest, and most powerful, highest total impulse rocket ever brought to operational status, and holds records for the heaviest payload launched and largest payload capacity to low Earth orbit of 310,000 pounds, which include the third stage and unburned propellant needed to send the Apollo Command and Service Module and Lunar Module to the Moon, and remains the only launch vehicle to carry humans beyond low Earth orbit. Two of the largest reasons for the cancellation of the last 3 Apollo missions were the heavy investments in Saturn V. In the time frame from 1969 to 1971, the cost of launching a Saturn V Apollo mission was between $185 million to $189 million, of which $110 million was used for the production of the vehicle, equivalent to $1.01 billion, or $1.3 billion in 2019. Space Launch System (SLS). Space Launch System, or SLS, is an American space shuttle-derived super heavy lift expendable launch vehicle, which has been under the development by NASA in the United States since its announcement in 2011. It replaced the Ares 1 and 5 and Jupiter planned launch vehicles. It had been planned to become the primary launch vehicle of NASA's deep space exploration plans, including the planned crewed lunar flights of the Artemis program and a possible follow-on mission to Mars. SLS is intended to replace the retired Space Shuttle as NASA's flagship vehicle. In 2013, SLS was projected to be the most capable super heavy lift vehicle ever built. Cost per launch of SLS has varied widely, partly due to uncertainty over how much the program will expand during development and testing before the operational launches begin, and partly due to various agencies using different cost measures. For example, a marginal cost per one additional launch, and annual reoccurring fixed costs versus total cost per launch, including reoccurring costs, but excluding development, but also based on different purposes for which the cost estimates were developed. However, there was an estimated cost per launch of $2 billion that came out that NASA did not deny. And that sums up the most expensive rockets of all time. What are your thoughts? Sound off in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.